last night. The stars were not shining for the Warriors, but LeBron James did all he could do for the Cavs. Here's the numbers. Let me explain. In a game-high 41 minutes, LeBron had 23 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists, but it was not enough to get the victory. LeBron's teams fall to 0-5 on the road in finals game ones throughout his career. Skip, get the red pen out, because we need grades.
Grades.
Grade LeBron's performance last night.
Molly, Stephen A., by LeBron standards, I'm going to give him a C- for last night. I thought Cleveland could and would win game one. I thought Cleveland, near the end of the third quarter, was in position to steal game one. And I must admit, I was disappointed in LeBron's effort last night. His consistency of emotion and fire that I didn't see after the first quarter last night, and I don't know how to explain it. That was as misleading, as quiet a near triple-double as you will ever see in a big playoff game. Obviously, just one assist shy of a triple-double. And it just didn't seem to have much impact on the game. And I'm going to say the numbers again. Don't want to beat them to death, but first quarter, LeBron drove the basketball to the basket 5 times, made 4 shots. Iguodala began to more consistently guard him the rest of the game. Second quarter, LeBron had another one of those weird stretches, Stephen A., where he just disengages, and I can't explain it. But in the second quarter, LeBron went 0 for 4. And over the last 9 minutes and 18 seconds of the second quarter, LeBron took 1 shot and got fouled and made 1 of the 2 free throws, and that was it. He just had that 1 shot attempt that resulted in free throws. I don't get that. I don't understand it. And obviously Golden State started to pull away and was up by, 9 at halftime. And then in the second half, I'd see a few bursts from LeBron, but as you pointed out, he began to drift out. He made a couple of jump shots, which may have been a bad sign for him because it encouraged him to continue to drift out and take jumpers, when I thought he was so successful and virtually unstoppable driving the basketball to the basket. How many times have we talked about that over the years on this show? And the great stat is, in the first quarter, his average shot length was 1.8 feet. Then in quarters 2, 3, and 4, the average shot length was all the way out to 10.4 feet. Well, okay, that's all you need to know about the game, because he's probably not going to beat you that way. He's going to beat you from 1.4 feet, and if the Cavs have any chance, they have to feed off LeBron in Game 2 the way they did in Game 2 last year, when LeBron led them to victory in Game 2 at Golden State in the NBA Finals. He also led them to victory in Game 3 back in Cleveland, and I thought he was in position to lead them to victory in Game 4 in his house. That didn't happen. So, takeaway, game they could have won, maybe should have won, C-.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give a C- to a near triple-double. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a B-, but I'm going to tell you that anything less than an A is not going to beat the Golden State Warriors.
That's fair.
They're just too gifted. So to me, I look at a triple-double, a near triple-double is a near triple-double. 23, 12, and 9 is what it is. He could have shot the ball better. He could have taken the ball to the hole more. He could have avoided those turnovers in crucial elements of the fourth quarter. All true. The flip side to it, however, is that he was effective going to the post. He did have a presence. There were things he could have done differently. They did overcome a 14 to 15-point deficit once and take the lead. The game was compelling because of it, and it wasn't out of reach until midway through the fourth quarter. And so when I look at it from that perspective, we all know it was primarily due to him. And as a result, I'm not going to give him a C grade. I'd give it a B or a B-. But what I would tell you again is that you'll need to be an A if you are LeBron James to beat the Golden State Warriors. The difference between Steph Curry and LeBron James is that Steph Curry can afford to have a C or a D game, and Golden State would win. LeBron can't afford to even have a C game, and Cleveland will win. They need him even more than Golden State needs Steph Curry. That's the difference.
Okay, I hear you. But the reason I went all the way down to C-, the reason I was so disappointed in LeBron is because of the context of the game. As you well know, meanwhile, Steph and Clay were having their worst combined night of the year, of the whole season. 20 combined points, 4 combined threes. So in that context, under those circumstances, it's a game that is begging to be won by the Cleveland Cavaliers. And it's a game that needs to be led to victory by LeBron James, the way he did last year when he dominated the ball and actually dominated the game, both 1 and 2, both close games, and they won game 2, obviously, at Golden State last year. So you have them at their worst, where they're 2 stars, by their standards. What would we grade them? Would we give them Fs, or would I mean, seriously, would you give, by Steph's back-to-back MVP standards, was that not an F game from him?
Well,
5 turnovers?
Yeah, but at the same time, when you're making a run and you play a role in finishing the run with your 3 and Steph's 3,
yeah, but
I'm not thinking about I'm not thinking about overall production. I'm talking about moments where you remind, even with that shot, you remind everyone of your presence, that at any given moment you're this threat. It's not always about numbers. Ultimately, we have to add it into the equation, but a lot of times it's about what you do in the moment. Do you make your presence felt? Do you remind somebody they're going to have to deal with you at this particular juncture if they're going to win a championship? Steph Curry did that last night somehow, some way, albeit minimally. LeBron did not.
Yeah, how do you mean in overall, like his body language or his emotion?
No, I'm talking about you had a drive to the basket where you score, you put it behind your back, you drive into the lane, you score the layup, the 3-point shot you do to finish off a particular run, despite the fact that you have been struggling all game long. Klay Thompson, who's missing every shot under the sun, all of a sudden hits a 3 to finish it off. That's the splash. Yeah, but I'm saying that's the Splash Brothers reminding you that at any given moment they're a threat. See, the problem is that if you're LeBron, let's say, for example, you're ineffective because, you know, they just go on a run, but you're continuously attacking the basket and you're making shots to sort of stymie runs. That's your way of reminding somebody you're going to have to figure out a way to deal with this because I'm going to keep throwing this at you. We didn't get that from him last night.
No.
But we got that from them. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I got it. But in the end, through the second half, even though we know Cleveland made its run, even though we know with 1 minute and 27 seconds left in the third quarter, Cleveland is still up by a point leading into the Dellavedova incident with Iguodala. But the point is, big picture, they had a chance, and I never loved LeBron's body language through that whole stretch. It didn't look like he was on fire. Sometimes he just gets in that mode where the whole team is feeding off his emotion. I didn't see it from him last night. He wasn't as engaged as I hoped he would be. That's just me.
I got you.
All right, Stephen A. gives LeBron a B-, Skip a C-, but everyone agrees they need an A to beat the Warriors. I give you a solid C today.
Oh, thank you. A shot from Molly.
Just kidding.
A broadside when I least expected it.
Always an A+.
She's awake. She's listening to the show, actually, for the first time in a long time.
Please, goodbye. Okay. Goodbye. The bench saves the day for the Warriors. How much trouble are the Cavs? And we get into it when we come back.
I know you see my face.
First Take is brought to you by Pizza Hut's Bacon Stuffed Crust Pizza. Now with Applewood Smoked Bacon. Only at Pizza Hut. And Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Game 2 of the NBA Finals is Sunday on ABC. We asked you guys on Twitter who would win. The results are in, and 52% of the people are going with Dub Nation. Stephen A., do you agree with our viewers?
I'm not going to today. They're not talking about the series. They're just talking about Game 2. I said if I have any chance of it being a 7-game series, Cleveland has to win Sunday. So I'm holding on to that, although with no conviction.
I'm surprised 48% of the LeBron lovers, I guess, are hanging in there that they're saying Cleveland could win Game 2, right? I mean, that's a lot. That's impressive. I mean,
hey, Skip, Molly.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all check me out on the Chew today.
We forgot
ABC.
about that.
It's
today.
The Chew.
Okay,
it's today.
On ABC this afternoon. Do you know the exact time?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Usually it depends on what but I think it's 1 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, can't wait. Stephen A.
Maybe I'll learn a new recipe.
Show you how to cook some lasagna, man.
I'll cook it tonight.
I'll cook it. I will.
Stephen A., get a nap.